Hi, loves, it's Shanda. How are you? And welcome to Shanda Says. You have officially entered the pink room. I want to thank everyone that tuned into my last video regarding cheating and infidelity and how to cope and how to get past it. Many of you shared your own. Oh, I'm sorry again. Technical difficulties. Thank you for sharing your stories and allowing me to share my story with you. Oftentimes it's very difficult to talk about these kind of subjects because things like cheating can be embarrassing for people, and it's not an easy thing to admit that you've been through. So again, thank you so much for all your comments and being able to give advice to other people that come on and see the videos. And I appreciate your love and support. So tonight's video is a follow-up to my previous video because I thought it very important for me to have a fair and balanced attitude in regards to this subject. I do know that people that we love do make mistakes, and there have been people that have moved on past infidelity, and actually as a result their relationships or marriages are much stronger because they were able to get through that together and fight for their relationship. And I want to come back to that word fight because really that's what it is. You're going to have to fight and be dedicated to staying together because infidelity is something that can truly rip two people apart. And even as much as you love each other, it can still just be too detrimental. So being able to stay in the fight is very important. Now, I want to say this before I get into this subject. I am no way negating what a cheater does or what someone did in terms of infidelity. What you did was wrong, and understand that there are consequences that come with making a choice like that. Like anything in life, anything we do, there may be some consequence that's involved. So understand that in the process of your partner healing, there are going to be some consequences that you may have to deal with in the long run. And one of those things could be constantly hearing about what happened, and your partner may want stories and they may want situations and did you do this and did you do that. Even if you decided to move on, those things, because insecurity creeps in, or anger, resentment, anything that can trigger negativity can creep in and will creep in and haunt you. So know that going forward, if you want to be forgiven, these are just things that you're going to have to deal with because what you did, the act that you did, caused a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, and a lot of distrust, and that has to be earned back. Now, with that being said, and I'm going to use me as an example, I love my man, and anyone that knows me knows that when I love extremely hard, and I give so much of myself. I am pretty much a selfless person because I love so deeply and I give so much from my heart. So even with my family, if someone isn't doing right by me or has done wrong by me, they're very upset and hurt and defensive of me. With that being said, when it comes to my love life and who I love, it's still my decision. And I want you to understand that too. As a couple, oftentimes when we share pain with loved ones, they may not understand why we may want to stay with someone. And maybe for very good reason. You know, if a man is or a woman are putting their hands on you, if there's all type of really bad detrimental things, okay, that makes sense. No one that loves you wants to see you in a situation that's consistently emotionally negative for you. No one that loves you wants to see that. But people that are in love have a right to the privacy of their relationship, and they have a right to rebuild and redeem what was broken. And sometimes when you let others in, they may not understand that process, but you have to understand that your love for each other is bigger than people's opinions at times, okay? Um, so understand that those are some things that you as a couple may have to deal with. If you're forgiving the person you love, others may be mad at you that you forgave. But really, at the end of the day, it's your relationship, it's your life, and you have to live through it and you have to go through it. Not everybody got to ride with it. They don't understand it, but they got to respect it. May not like it, but you got to respect it. Also, too, I want to say that when you decide to really forgive someone, and we're taught this at a young age, at least I was as a little girl. My mom was like, You forgive somebody, that's it. You forgave, you thought about it, you forgave. You don't keep throwing something up in someone's face. I better not hear that you did that, because I don't like that, you know? And I think about that because when I decided to forgive, I know I have to not be able to keep bringing up something and say, but you did this and you did that. You know, when you become an adult, and I think back to what my mommy taught me, I'm like, oh, Ma, it's really hard not to do that because I was really good to this person. I didn't deserve this. And when I'm angry, it's very easy for me to pull back, you know, and dust that thing off about this is what you did to me. So as a result, this is what you got to deal with. If you decide to forgive, you have to understand that forgiveness, it doesn't mean being forgetting. It doesn't mean you're going to forget anything, but what it does mean is that you're going to allow the person to redeem themselves. And if you're going to allow that person to redeem themselves, you have to have an action plan moving forward, meaning, okay, and this is something I thought of. I don't know why I didn't think of it in my situation, but I think that couples should have an action plan. Okay, we're going to stay together. Okay, moving forward, these are the rules. This is what I would like from you. This is what I'm going to need from you. I'm going to need you to give me more attention. I'm going to need to feel loved. I'm going to need to be, if I have questions, please answer them as honestly as possible, even if it hurts me. If we decide to move forward, then let's move in that direction. If we slide back, let's talk about it and go back and go forward, because it'll be pull and tug if you don't. If you agree to move forward, understand that that's what you're going to do, because if you keep pulling a person back, yes, they did wrong, but even they get suffocated by their efforts to try, and it's not enough. And it's not enough. And again, we're not negating what they've done. And it takes time for loyalty and trust to come back. But if you decide to move forward, you have to be able to allow that to happen. You have to be able to allow it to happen. One thing for myself, I like to know, and my sister says this to me all the time, Shanda, not everyone's going to give you a reason why. I like to know why someone did something to me. And the reason being is I try to live my life in a way that I'm proud of. And I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. But I do try to live my life in a way that I don't screw people over. I don't purposely hurt people. And people that I love, I work really hard to try to make them happy. Now, of course, I can't always make everybody happy. And there are times that I piss people off. That's just being human, okay? But the reality is, I do spend a good amount of my time making sure that people I love feel reassured and that I love them, especially the man in my life. Because I love so deeply, it's very hard for me to understand why someone would hurt me, and understand that something like that would be so devastating to me if they know me so well. They know how emotional I am. And when I decide to forgive and move on and move past, yeah, I decide to do that. And yes, I want to move on, and I want us to grow. But it's still the part of me that still wants to know why. You know, I think I'm beautiful. And like I said, I don't, in terms of looks, yeah, okay, fluff is beautiful, you know. It's icing on the cake, but I'm a beautiful person. And I treat you so well, and I'm so good to you. So when something like this happens, it's devastating. And the whys could be a very simple why. I just wanted to get laid. You weren't around. Something happened. Bam. This is what it is. You know, and something just as simple as that can leave so much destruction within two people. So, in moving forward in this topic, a person that is trying to redeem themselves, understand that the fact that they hurt the one they love is hurtful to them. It's hurtful to them. Allow them the grace of forgiveness. Allow them the grace of being able to make it up to you. And consistently throwing it up in their face, or consistently bringing them back to the negativity or to whatever that puts you guys in a negative space may not be conducive to you moving forward. So be understanding in that. I have seen in many shows or many occasions where a woman has decided to forgive her husband. I'm doing the female end again, okay, guys? Again, this is not a gender video. This is man and woman video. This is about, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? It's late and I'm getting a fog. But anyway, understand that this person is hurt too. And that when, oh yeah, well, sometimes you look at shows and you see a woman and she's like looking at her husband like, you ain't no good, you ain't this, and this is going to happen to you, and I'm going to spend the rest of your life making you pay for what you did to me. That's not the right way to be. And if you're a man and you're doing that, that's not the right way to treat her. If you decide to forgive, if you decide to move on and try to make it work, understand that yes, you will have anger, yes, you will have disappointment, it's still there, but you cannot make someone continuously pay for a mistake that they are trying to get past and trying to redeem and trying to move on in. That is not what, honestly, what spiritually is good. It's not good for you and it's not good for your partner. And it really sucks for you because you're consistently angry. And there's a constant chip on your shoulder. You just can't be like, it's almost like I can't be bothered. Like what you did is so detrimental, I can't. If you really can't, then walk away. If you really can't, then walk away. Don't do your partner the disservice of saying you're going to do something and you know that emotionally and physically, yes, because the sex too, if you can't do it. If you can't do it. Now, initially, you may be like, I'm going to do this, but down the road, it may be a hard truth that you just can't. But if the love is there, and this is my thinking, and then I'm being really honest here. If the love is there, and you have children, and you have a life together that you've built, to me, it's worth fighting for. It's worth fighting for. And there was another important piece in my last video that I didn't bring up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I meant to bring that up in this video. When someone does us wrong, it is very normal for us to be vengeful. It is very normal for us to be vengeful. We can easily get sneaky and do something very counterproductive because we're pissed off and we want to get even. But I'm going to tell you something about that. When you love a man or a woman, and like I was saying in my previous video how important intimacy is more than just a penis going in a vagina. Or even if you're gay, it's more than our sexual organs and we passing that between us physically. The intimacy is the love and the emotion involved in your relationship. And even if you decide to physically go and screw someone else, it's not the same. You can even be in the act of screwing someone else and start crying because you know your heart and your mind and your body isn't even in it. You're just doing it for all the wrong reasons. Like this is a venge screw. This is a vengeful screw. And that doesn't hurt anybody but you. Anybody but you. So even though it may feel like you're owed that, I don't think it's the moral thing to do. I'm not going to sit here and be on a high horse and say to you all this stuff. Oh, Shanda, you don't know. No, I'm saying it because I want you to morally feel good about yourself. That regardless of what has happened, you still held your head high and you held yourself with respect. And because someone else did something bad, you didn't act the same way. And I want you guys to always be conscious of that. I'm not your mama, but I could be your sister or your aunt or your woman. And I want you to understand that be a good person. Make good choices. Make good decisions. And every choice we make is the fabric of who we are in our life. Everything of who we are is free will, and the choices we make and the people that we decide to have in our lives. And there's accountability with that. And there's accountability that comes with good choices and being a good person. So because someone does you wrong, don't go out there and do that to yourself, because you're worth way more. You're worth way more. But again, moving back to subject, I want you guys to really think about your partner that made the mistake. I want you to, if you're going to forgive them, give them the time to heal you and to heal themselves for the mistake. And a lot of people may feel like they not know. If you have that attitude, then you don't need to be with your man or your woman. You don't. If you feel like, no, no, don't be with them. And here's another thing. If your man or woman has cheated on you 2, 3, 4, 5 times, that's their fault. Oh no, she don't get no more chances. He don't get no more chances. That was it. Number 5, that's it. How'd he get to 5 if you ain't let him? Hello. Can nobody do anything to you that you don't allow? Like I said, I allow for a mistake to happen in my life. But I love so much that I want to fight. But what I won't do is be a fool. You got one more time to hurt me, and that's it. This ain't Love and Hip Hop. This is not that. This is some grown woman. I ain't playing stuff. You can't do that. And this some grown man. This ain't happening. You can't disrespect me as a man either. You guys know I love you. Men know I love you. So I'm understanding to both sides. But again, moving forward, I want you guys to think about forgiveness. Think about redemption. Think about love. And if the love in your children and your family and your dreams, they're all worth fighting for. And one thing I've learned, and not to say that any relationship should go through pain, because I don't think it should have to, but because we're human, it will. It will. Expect that any relationship is going to come with some pain. But if it's worth fighting for, then fight. Fight. And don't let anyone get in the middle of it. People will have their opinions, and they may be valid. But you two together can prove everybody wrong and be great and be an example of what true love and redemption is. You could be that example. And if you can't do it, that's okay too. Then you move on in your life and you know what to expect from the next person in your life. Don't allow that to happen to you. So, again, I like to have a fair and balanced heart when it comes to certain matters, and I knew that this subject was a really difficult subject. And again, regarding cheating, it's very easy to talk about someone cheated on me and it hurt, and yes, it does. But I want to be able to look at both sides of the coin and offer my opinion and my advice. Again, if you have any advice you would like to give in the comments section, please do so. Again, a lot of you refer to not only my advice, but you go into the comments and you go along in the comments and you make your comment, then someone else comments, and then it grows from there, and then that's how conversation starts. And that's a beautiful thing. When you could start in common ground and have conversation, I believe a lot of things can be solved through good communication. So again, I love you very much. Thank you for tuning in. Follow me, Shanda Says, on Instagram, on Twitter, and email me, shandasays1@gmail.com. I love you. I will be back real quickly. A young lady reached out to me and she wanted me to do a video in regards to young women today and how she feels she should be and how she should carry herself. And I want to share with you guys, I'm going to come close. I want to share with you how much I love that she asked me that, because she said I was someone that she aspired to be like. And I love that. I want to get emotional, but my next video, I promised her I would do it, but this one was so important. I wanted to be able to bring this up right after my last video. But young lady, if you're watching tonight, please know I haven't forgotten you, and Auntie Shanda will have your video up this week. I love you, sweetheart. I love all of you, and thank you. Mwah. Good night. Bye-bye.